Hi, in this brief presentation, we're going to walk through an overview of the Magnitude SourceConnect for SAP solution set, which is designed to enable rapid, low-cost and low-risk enablement of SAP S/4HANA Central Finance. SAP rightly claims some significant benefits from Central Finance, and the impact of pulling together all financial information can indeed be very powerful. The issue is not whether Central Finance is valuable, it's whether you know how to get all of your financial information out from the many sources where it no doubt lives today and into Central Finance in a timely and reliable way. If you're familiar with SAP Central Finance and are considering how to implement it, then there are some things that you probably already know, but bear repeating for the purpose of this conversation. First, SAP does not have connectors to non-SAP sources. Clearly, loading financial transaction information from non-SAP sources is an important part of creating an overall financial picture, and you're going to have to do some work somehow to pull that information together, but it's not part of the SAP delivered solution set. Second point, the data across multiple systems, even including SAP systems, may be inconsistent. And here we're specifically talking about master data. If customer, partner, supplier, material or product, or even GL code information has been entered in any way inconsistently across each system, then Central Finance will not be able to properly reconcile and report on it. So that harmonization of information across these multiple systems is a necessary step. Third point, not all transactional detail is loaded into Central Finance. Central Finance is there to capture financial information and report on it, but there may be other information that's required for validation or reconciliation purposes, or in some cases for reporting, but the focus is less financial and more perhaps operational detail. If you're going to try and do that, then you need something outside of the Central Finance system to help you. The final point here is that having a pre-built, pre-configured solution is highly recommended when you're implementing data from non-SAP sources to avoid project costs, delays, and risk. And this isn't something that's just being claimed by Magnitude Software. This is also a recommendation from SAP, which is why, in fact, SAP came to us to help build out this solution set. So what is the solution set? Magnitude SourceConnect for SAP is a pre-built solution to rapidly enable SAP Central Finance. As I mentioned, it's co-innovated with SAP, and it's made up of 3 modules. The first one is Magnitude SourceConnect Transaction, which is there to integrate non-SAP data sources at a transactional level and provide a seamless load to SAP Central Finance. Second module is Magnitude SourceConnect Harmonization, which is where master data from each source system is extracted from the source system, collected, reviewed by the system, and the overall completeness and ability to match and blend information is evaluated, and a readout can be given of how difficult a task that's going to be for the master data integration, which is an important part of estimating the overall project. Of course, once that's done, then the task of actually doing the harmonization can be completed, and the harmonized business mappings loaded into Central Finance so that there's a complete picture of the financial information. Third module, Magnitude SourceConnect Drill Down, which is a micromart type of approach where original transaction information that we've pulled from non-SAP sources is preserved in a mart, which we happen to store in HANA, and that persistent information can be used to review source details that are not loaded into Central Finance and produce perhaps some lightweight reporting across that data as required, and to maintain a persistent transaction history even when source systems are not available if those source systems become deprecated. All of this is here in order to provide a faster time to value for your implementation with a lower cost and lower risk. Why did SAP come to Magnitude in the first place? Because Magnitude has the right experience, the right footprint of experience to do this kind of work. Our engineers have been working with SAP Data Services technology for a long time, around 20 years in fact, and they've been doing it with non-SAP source systems. We have in the past specialized in Oracle systems, in fact JD Edwards, PeopleSoft and eBusiness Suite, but recently we have expanded our focus and capability much beyond that. In fact, we have very specifically a multi-source connectivity capability based on an industry-leading connectivity platform. In fact, if you look at the Gartner Magic Quadrant for BI platforms, all of the leading BI platforms use our connectivity solutions. It allows them to provide access to data from any source and to quickly build new source connectors as required. And that's obviously a set of capabilities which is very helpful when we're integrating non-SAP source information into Central Finance. Third point to make here is that we have data harmonization capability. We have a very deep background in this area with model-driven data warehouses, hierarchy management, reference data management, master data reconciliation, data quality matching workflow, exception management, etc. In fact, we have a complete master data management platform, rather the same as SAP does, but we have pre-configured our master data management capabilities into a very streamlined capability where we have pre-configured data sources, pre-configured harmonization capabilities, and pre-configured target load routines in order to streamline the getting started phase as well as the ongoing running of Central Finance. Okay, so let's look at how this the SourceConnect for SAP solution lays out. If you have just an SAP source system, then the data will flow. There's already pre-built connectors for the data to flow into the SAP SLT replication server, and from there into Central Finance, and then Central Finance can do all the things that Central Finance is designed for. If you have non-SAP systems, then the question is, how are you going to load all that information into Central Finance? And that's where Magnitude SourceConnect for SAP comes in. Each of the modules does a different aspect of collecting and loading that information into Central Finance so that the information can be used. The first module, SourceConnect Transaction, is there to collect transactional information from each of the source systems and then load the financial summary information, the journal information, into SLT replication server, and from there it's loaded into Central Finance. Magnitude SourceConnect Harmonization pulls master data from each of the source systems, and we're primarily focusing on customer, supplier, material, and GL account information. That information is then evaluated, harmonized, matched, blended, and loaded as business mappings into Central Finance. The harmonized information is loaded into Central Finance so that the business mappings are used by Central Finance to harmonize, to provide a key to harmonize all the data from those disparate source systems. And the third module is Magnitude SourceConnect Drill Down. As we collect all of this transaction information, we're collecting more than just the financial information. We're collecting substantially all of the transaction information from the source systems, and then we load and store operational detail in a MART in HANA so that it can be referred to later on, either at an individual level just to validate the details around a transaction, or perhaps to do some kind of aggregate reporting where the focus is non-financial, maybe more operational. These are the three modules that are part of this SourceConnect platform. The value summary of what this should be able to provide for you is, first, a pre-built solution to load and harmonize data into SAP Central Finance. I think it would be obvious that pre-built solutions should be faster, cheaper, and less risky than custom build. The single solution here can take care of all the load and sync issues for SAP and non-SAP source systems, which can take away a lot of implementation work particularly at the beginning of the Central Finance implementation. We have a number of examples of early Central Finance customers who assumed it would be relatively easy to do this integration work themselves. They thought it would take just a few weeks, and it turned out to be much more complex than that, because it requires an understanding of the source systems, which is not necessarily something that is an area of expertise, and it requires understanding of how that data needs to be manipulated and managed and summarized and put into a correct format to load into SAP, which again is a fairly specialized area of knowledge. And all of this needs to be done for each source system, of course, but it needs to be done for a whole variety of transaction types. There are 23 common transaction types that we've encoded, and that is quite a lot of work, particularly if that's not your area of expertise. So having this all pre-built, the pre-built solution simplifies initial deployment and ongoing operation. The predefined templates and mappings speed and simplify the deployment of Central Finance, and can be used along the entire life cycle, particularly around initial evaluation, project planning, then through the initial implementation and the first loads, but then also through ongoing operations, because of course source systems change, source master data changes, and of course the transactions are changing on a minute by minute basis. So having all of this avoids the risk of poor implementations that would undermine the value and ROI of Central Finance itself. It's important to point out that these solutions are designed to work with existing solutions and not be redundant investments or replacements, but complementary. All the way through the design, Magnitude is using SAP recommended best practices for use of technology, architecture, and best practices for loading information wherever possible. We're using SAP constructs, BAPIs, etc., to make it as natural as possible for an SAP implementation audience. It's also important to point out that other integration and master data management solutions can also be used in parallel. If you happen to have, for example, SAP Master Data Governance, then there's nothing at all preventing you from using our harmonization solution to quickly, because it's all pre-configured, quickly set up the harmonization business mappings, load them into Central Finance, and then reverse engineer that information back out and load it into SAP Master Data Governance if that's something that you would like to do. So the intention here is that the investments are not redundant or overlapping, but in fact are quite complementary. So final slide here to summarize. There is significant value in Central Finance and in aggregating all financial information together, but if you do not have the right solutions for integrating this data from multiple sources, then you're running potentially significant the risk of significant costs and delays in connecting and normalizing transactions from multiple sources, providing drill down to transaction level detail, harmonizing data across systems, and even in implementing, even in estimating the implementation project scope based on the consistency, completeness, and quality of data from all source systems. Magnitude SourceConnect for SAP is a platform that is designed to help solve all of those problems. You can find more information about the whole Magnitude SourceConnect for SAP product family at www.magnitude.com/SAP, where there are data sheets, other background information, and video walkthroughs for each of the 3 product modules that we talked about in this video. There's also a link to the LinkedIn community group for SAP Central Finance, which is also a very helpful resource. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and we look forward to hearing from you.